Alright, today is another port day. We are at Nassau, the Bahamas, and I'm excited. It's a very short trip. We're only here from, I think, 7 a.m. to 2. We have to be back on board at 2. Takeoff is at 2:30. So we have a lot of stuff packed in our schedule to do. I didn't book any excursions. I looked up what we're going to do, where we're going to walk around. And so we'll see how much of it we can get done. A couple items that I really want to do is the Pirates Museum and go to the beach. So we'll see how it goes.
With this being our first cruise, I was just looking at all the exit signs on how to get out of the boat. I was not an expert at all, but I will say once you have a port day, it's all a pretty easy schedule of getting off and doing what you want to do and coming back on. The biggest piece is always just making sure that you're back at time for boarding. I think for Nassau, we had the boarding time of 2 o'clock and then takeoff was 2:30. So really making sure that you're back on time is extremely important so you don't hold up anyone's schedule. One good thing to call out is when you do dock and you're at your port, once you get off, you are dropped off in a touristy area. It will be really touristy, it'll be upkept, it will look very much still Americanized, if that makes sense. So you typically have to walk to get out of that area and then to explore the rest of the country that you're visiting. I could not go to Nassau without seeing the Pirates of Nassau Museum. I was really excited about this. I am a lover of all things pirates for some reason. I just find them so interesting. It was $14 per adult, I think around $7 if you're coming with kids. And I think it was cute and so worth it. You're really not doing too much. It's not interactive, but it is fun to see.
This is so cool. If you gamble and cheat, make sure your powder is dry and your blade is keen.
There were a lot of fun facts and different artifacts around. I thought it was really interesting. If you're someone that likes pirates and likes history, I suggest checking out this museum. If you're someone who can do without, then I would say skip it, because $14 and a 20-ish minute walk over from the port might be too much for you, and you could probably skip it and go on to the other interesting things to do in Nassau.
Oh, Nassau Harbor in August of 1720. That'd be torture. Yep. All right, so it is like 80 degrees. My hair is up. I had to put the hat on. It is so hot out here, but I'm really happy because I think The first 2 to 3 days were so gloomy. Right now we just finished up at the Pirates Museum and we're heading to the rum cake factory, which is another staple on the island. I will show you guys all around what it looks like and let you know the full review of how the rum cakes taste. Yeah, she was looking at me crazy. Yeah, they get samples. Yeah. Hi. Look at a sample.
Original pecans on top, pina colada to the bottom.
Thank you. Let's go this way.
Which one's this?
That was the cinnamon rum cake.
What kind you give me? Original pecans and pina colada.
Okay, that sounds good. I want to try the pecan.
So as you can see, it got really packed in the rum cake factory. This is definitely a staple of the island, and I can see why after trying it. Go in, make your way there. This has to be a stop when you come to Nassau. They give you free samples and the rum cakes are so good. If you do buy any of the rum cakes, you get to go next door to the bar and get a free shot of rum for everyone in your group. It was definitely such a fun stop. I suggest going and making sure that you take a good bag, because our rum cake bag did break, so Dion was carrying it like a baby for the whole trip on the island. After the rum cake factory, we walked over to Queen Anne's stairs. I thought these were really interesting. They were built by slaves and just carved out, very man-made. One thing I do wish we would have done was more of a historic tour of it. I'm not sure if they include that in some of the excursions, but if you're someone that's not good at looking up stuff on your own, I suggest maybe checking out a history tour of it if you would like to learn more about Queen Anne's staircase. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we did not do any excursions. I was really adamant on doing my own research of what we're going to do, so I'll share the full walking map / itinerary towards the end of this video, because I do think it's very doable if you're someone that's okay with walking and exploring and traveling the island that you stop on. I don't think you need to go to an excursion. Aside from that, I do think it's such a money saver when you get to go off and do things on your own rather than pay for the excursion. The Pirates Museum was easy to get to at about $14, and then the next spot we're going to here for the distillery was free to walk around. They have a free tour, so I don't suggest paying for the excursions unless you absolutely maybe need a taxi driver there. Maybe you're someone that really doesn't enjoy exploring an island that's new to you completely on your own, maybe for safety reasons, and that's completely fine. Go ahead and get the excursion. But if you're like me and my husband, we love to just fully explore and immerse ourselves. So I do suggest doing it that way and kind of just going off on your own to figure out what to do.
Alcoholic, non-alcoholic beverages. Alright, so folks, the tour should take about 7 to 8. Alright, we get our samples. My lovely co-workers coming around the rum, the shoe, and found me and you. Alright. And good, Victoria was actually a good person because she was responsible for Alright, so folks, right over here, this is our old water well. The well is about 74 feet deep and 7.4 feet. This is where all the magic happens essentially. Some would call it an alcoholic heaven, but to me I call it home. Basically explaining all about rum. So the red film is our signature vodka. It is made of coconuts, not potatoes, like with vodka. You will see our plain rum, which is our youngest and our clearest rum. You will see our rum.
The John Waitling's distillery in Nassau did not disappoint. The rum was so tasty, and the free tour was just the cherry on top of a trip where we were really trying to be on a budget and not spend so much. So if you're coming to Nassau, Bahamas, this is a must do. You just walk on in. You don't need an appointment or a specific time slot. If you just go up to the distillery during their open hours and wait for the next tour, which is not a long wait for us, it was about maybe 2 to 3 minute wait for the next tour. We did stop at the bar where Dion got a flight and I got a pina colada, and I can say this was the best tasting pina colada I've had in my life.
Let's start with the harshest first. Alright everyone, so we just finished up the distillery tour. It has been so much walking, but I did count it out and it was maybe 2 hours and a half-ish of walking, seeing the sights, doing all the touristy things, and then now we're all done. We're gonna head over to the beach, get some food, and enjoy the last 2 hours that we have here before we get back on the boat.
Let me see.
Cheers.
I did want to do just a little feedback for if you're coming to Nassau. Yes, you can walk around the whole time like Deanna and I did, very walkable, or you could get a tour and ride in the bus, or what I did see some people do was ride around in like ATV go-kart style things. I feel like that would have been a really neat way to see the island, and I just kept seeing them all around the Bahamas, and I kept thinking like, wow, we should have done that. So if you're not someone that wants to walk around and get all sweaty, I would say look into like those go-kart rental services. They seemed so cool, and you could get like a breeze while you were riding on them. I did not ride in one. This is just my experience after seeing them and me being a walker of the island. When you dock at Nassau, you will be dropped off by Junco Beach, and so we didn't start here. We ended up walking away and going to the museum, and then going to the staircase, and then to the distillery. So our walk back ended us there at Junco Beach, and so it was really nice to see what the beach looked like. We really wanted some time to stop and touch the water and swim, but we were starving and kind of pressed for time because we knew the restaurant might take a couple of hours or so. Don't forget, you're on island time, so make sure you plan that out and make sure you're back at the port on time.
Alright, so we made it to the beach. And just so you know, I am in tennis shoes. I needed to wear tennis shoes for all the walking, but I'm ready to take them off and get into the water. It's beautiful.
Around Junco Beach there is an area where they call it the fish fry, and it's just this huge area where you can find different types of foods, most of it fried fish. And so we were walking to that area to try to get some good food. We stopped a local and they told us the best spot is this O Andro spot, and it was super tasty.
We got here, take some food. Like what to eat. This looks so good.
I had the best time in Nassau. I'm so happy that we got to stop there for a full port day. We ended up walking quite a bit. We went from the Junco Beach area, which is where they drop you off, over to the Pirates of the Nassau Museum, the Bahamas Rum Factory, Queen Staircase, and then over to the distillery. This is the exact route we took if you want to screenshot and keep it for your trip to the Bahamas because it was the best time.